And hello there folks, RJB here with today we got some Gensay against 458, two very good fastest map players. One of them the master of Protoss and the other one is just a prodigy because he's good at every single race. At arguably the absolute highest level. Gensay on the White Terran here is an absolute master of every single race. But he is also very arrogant, and oftentimes his arrogance, and sometimes even his stubbornness and persistence to do the same thing over and over again, can wind up costing him games. Whereas here on the other side of the map, we have 458 on the Protoss. Yes, again on the Protoss, the one race he pretty much always plays. He is the true Protoss sage, the master, the person we all strive to imitate, because his Protoss is just so damn amazing. But again, he does suffer from some, drawbacks to his amazing play. Like, everyone has their own weaknesses and strengths. Some people have a couple more, and some people a couple less, of both strengths and weaknesses. 458's Protoss does not have a lot of weaknesses. He focuses very hard and strongly on multitasking and playing speed. He is the kind of person to try and barrage you, overwhelm you with attacks that seem to never end. You don't get much time to recover from any damage you take because the next attack is already happening. That is the trademark 458 thing in Protoss against Terran and Protoss against Zerg. He is not gonna give you any time to breathe. There's no little breaks in between these rounds. It's just non-stop punches coming at you. Gensay though, very fast player, and arguably better multitasking than 458, might be one of the most well-equipped players to deal with all of 458's strengths and his weaknesses, because 458's main weakness, in my opinion, which has persisted for years, is the fact that because he is non-stop attacking, because he's never ending with his attacks, a lot of actions that could be used to maybe build bigger bases or get more control over the map, he doesn't quite do that much, because all of his actions are going into non-stop attacking. And oftentimes though, that strategy of using all your actions on producing units and attacking, it works really well. There's a reason why he is considered to be the opponent to beat in Terran against Protoss or Zerg against Protoss. He is the guy to beat, because his attacking is so diverse and strong. Gensay here is starting off with double barracks into a command center into a gas. Very early gas, only double barracks though. It's a little bit risky, but will it be risky enough against this 458 2 gateway Nexus rush? So 458 here doing something that is very uncharacteristic of him, that is going triple Nexus this early in the game. Most of the time I see him go for, just a double Nexus. Triple Nexus though, that's unorthodox. That's not the 458 I was expecting to see, which means he's not going to go for the very fast non-stop attacks starting at 6-3 into the game. He's going to just do some slight little bit of zealot harassment and zealot pressure to, make Gensay feel uncomfortable, maybe kill some Marines and zealots, some SCVs as well, just to keep up the pressure, just to make Minchol maybe pay for going for double barracks, double command center, instead of triple barracks into a command center. Because double barracks command center carries more risk for the Terran than going for triple barracks. He's going for double a factory already, so it looks like this is the double barracks, double factory build order. But the zealots here being in the base with more zealots on the way, of course, have the ability to maybe kill some SCVs and Marines. And Gensay is losing some of the value from going command center first by having to stop producing SCVs for a little while, focus on defending, because the micro from 458 is really, really good with those zealots. And yeah, it looks like the risk of going double barracks was maybe a little bit too high, because 458 is punishing him for it really, really well. Losing a lot of time not producing SCVs, losing SCVs, and losing all the Marines. He should be able to defend himself once the Vultures come out, or the Firebats come out. Firebats are great against Zealots, but look at the amount of damage he's taking from going for this risky build. He simply did not and could not have had enough units to properly defend himself. And this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing for 458. This is like the wettest dream that 458 could have ever dreamt to have happened. Just a 2 gateway harass doing that much damage is the wettest dream of all time. The Vultures though, going for a slight little counter attack, or maybe just catching those Zealots in the middle. Minchel with great micro and multitasking shouldn't lose those Vultures to the Zealots, I'm pretty sure of it. Got double machine shop already on the way. But 458 going for that triple Nexus is gonna explode economically. He's gonna have a very high probe count very early on into the game. Like, not super early, but like around the mid game, he's gonna have way more probes than Gensay would be expecting him to have, because Gensay doesn't know it's a triple Nexus. He probably assumes it is a double Nexus. Already have an observatory on the way, 2 Dragoons as well. Range for the Dragoons. He's going for 4 gateway. He's gonna try to counter the factory build by going for more Dragoons and observers to spot the mines that Gensay might place on the map. He's getting both mines and Vulture speed. I don't see tanks on the way yet, or siege mode. You know, he has 2 machine shops, so he can only get 2 of the machine shop upgrades at the same time. He's getting an armory already, so we might see early level 1 attack, and maybe Goliaths, because he might be expecting shuttle drops. And given that he's got no information on what's going on inside of 458's base, it is logical to expect shuttle drops. Although the Dragoons showing themselves to push the Vultures away might have given away 458's plan to maybe go pretty heavy on the gateway units already. Because why not? He did a lot of damage with those Zealots at the start. Going for a mass strategy with some drops mixed in at the same time might just be the exact thing that counters what Minchel is now trying to do. Minchel is pretty exposed, pretty weak. He went for a lot of machine shops all at the same time. Now on 4 factory, getting number 5 as well, might get number 6 even. He's gonna have to start building turrets somewhere soon as well. The mines in the middle though are slowing down 458's progression towards Gensay's base. He's gonna have to use the mine sweeper strategy with the observers to clear out the middle first. The timing is impeccable. We have a turret being built there, gonna try to snipe the turret out of the air, but that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. The Dragoons are already there, so cancels the turret, returns back home. 2 structures on the side to spot out shuttles that are going to try to fly in over the sides. No turret there yet in the front. He's got 6 Vultures. He's got a couple Goliaths and a tank in the back there. Shuttle trying to fly in, unloads on top of the tank. There's only 1 tank, so not really going to do much with that drop. But the Dragoons are coming in hot. There's a lot of Dragoons. Dragoons are very strong against Vultures and Goliaths, but the Observer goes down, so mines can now once again be placed in his choke point. And looks like the amount of Goliaths is just enough to hold back the Dragoons, but Dragoons are doing a lot of work, killing a lot of those Goliaths. Now already on 66 probes, Double Reaver finished up there in the front, because Shuttle's still on the way because he lost the Shuttle earlier, and I assume he might have wanted to pick up the 2 Reavers with the Shuttle he lost right here. There is some time here for Minchel to grow a little bit bigger and stronger, adding on 3 more factories, 6 already finished. There's going to be 9 factories in total, getting a starport as well. Structures on the side, getting a Tempest Arc there for 458 and a Stargate as well. It's going to be triple Robo Shuttle production with gateway units mixed in. Usually, 458 would now be on about 54 workers, much like Minchel. But the fact he went for triple Nexus means he will soon have 80 workers already finished and mining. He has a lot of money coming into the bank, and he also covered himself up against tank drops really, really well. There's cannons covering every single little spot. Like, this is one of the things that makes 458 so great. He has so much experience playing against Burger, Sasu, Brain, Rabbit, and Minchel, who are arguably some of the best fastest map 1v1 players in the world of all time. And he is pretty much capable of preparing himself for every single option that enemies can throw at him, because his opponents have, historically speaking, always thrown every single possible option at him. So he's learned to expect everything and how to maximize the efficiency of how to counter everything that can be thrown at him. So we got triple shuttle there ready to go in. We got Dragoons on the middle there, and some mines in between. Needs an observer yet again to clear those mines. He's dropped as a Corsair, hunting, gathering information. There's no turrets on the sides. He's slowly building them now, but it's hardly any turrets at all. He's relying on the Goliaths and the vision from these barracks to snipe the shuttles out of the air. They're going to be coming in very soon. A lot of turrets in the front to snipe the observers, so it's going to be difficult to get in over the front. We have 150 supply against 176. 4 of 8 is on 84 probes. Getting more gateways now as well. He probably has some plans for carriers in the future as well, as he's getting upgrades across the board for air as well. He's got 1 attack finished up, level 2 on the way, level 1 shield also on the way, storm walls finished up. Dropper on the bottom side looking for a way in, finds a way in, but Goliath's in between. So there's Reavers right next to the tanks, but the Reavers both go down before they can shoot. And the Dragoons are in the front, not really managing to really do much at all. So now it's back to the drawing board. 4 of 8 had some good plans, but Minchel was given too much time to cover up all of his own respective weaknesses to what 4 of 8 was doing, which is the one downside of going for Triple Nexus. Triple Nexus really starts to shine at about 10 to 12 minutes into the game, when you have way more money and way more structures than you should have if you had gone for a Double Nexus. But the downside of a Triple Nexus means that all of your technology, the advanced technology, gets delayed so much that the Terran has already covered up all of their potential weaknesses that would have been exposed if you had gone for maybe a 1 Nexus build order or a 2 Nexus build order instead of a 3 Nexus build order. But I'm sure 4 of 8 knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he wants to do, coming in over the front, dropping Zealots on top of the mines. But sadly, he does take out a lot of mines, but the tanks largely all stay alive. And this might mean that Minchel is now going to go for the attack. He is not going to sit around. He feels he's strong enough. He's got 11 factories, almost maxed out. I think he finished up level 1 attack on those tanks already. So he's pretty damn strong, and he's going right for the killing shot, the killing blow. 4 of 8 has a lot of gateways, and he's almost maxed out. There's a big drop there coming over the bottom side. Goliaths have been pulled away from the base, so this drop there unopposed, nothing in the back to protect. Minchel might have gambled a little bit too hard. He went all in. That's his arrogance at work. He goes and he goes all in, loses almost all the SCVs because he was very slow in response. There's only 37 SCVs left alive. He's gonna have to kill 4 of 8 with this attack right here, right now, or he is toast. His army, though, that's here in the choke point of 4 of 8, looks very strong, though. He's getting control over the entire gateway production section. Some shuttles are returning back home. Zealots are on the ground, they're spawning. Can 4 of 8 produce enough, quick enough, to, deal with this very strong Goliath tank army that's already setting up and sieging up right in this choke point? Will Minchel's gamble pay off? He just pulled the trigger and went right for it. Can 458 survive this one? There's some Dark Temples on the way, some Reavers as well, and all the Zealots and Dragoons. But they're all spawning in the danger zone. When they spawn, they take damage, they get attacked. So even though a lot of the units are in production, he stormed him again, because there was still a Templar inside the shuttle there. But Minchel does not give a damn. Minchel is like, I'm gonna end the game right here, right now, and I don't care if I've got an economy, I'm just gonna go in and fight tooth and nail and end this once and for all. A pretty good Zealot unloaded on top of the tanks, but splash damage doesn't take out enough of his own tanks. More Vultures are coming in because that's the only thing he can afford. Vultures. Some tanks that were already in production are coming across the map as well. He's holding an SCV to build some turrets because there might be Dark Templars, and 4 of 8 loses the game despite hitting the absolute money shot. It looks like against Minchel you cannot afford to go for triple Nexus because Minchel is too damn good. You cannot give him this much time to build up and grow strong, because he will use all that time you just gave him to become too damn strong to handle. Which means that I'm going to add 1 win for Gensay. I mean, I was expecting a 4-5-8 win from how that game was going, and when he hit the drop, I was like, ooh, that's a pretty damn good drop. But just killing the economy, usually, well, not usually, sometimes, is not enough to do the trick. So let's do game number 2. It's going to be the same races yet again, because 4-5-8 against Minchel, or Gensay, when they play, it's usually the same two races. Protoss against Terran. Their best two respective races, although I do think Minchel is probably a little bit stronger on his own Protoss than his Terran, but people don't really like watching Protoss against Protoss. So Terran against Protoss it is, and it is, my opinion, a very exciting matchup. It is perhaps, I don't want to say, oh, sorry, I hit my mic. It is perhaps the, well, I would say it's more exciting than Zerg against Protoss, because Zerg against Protoss, the Zerg historically, statistically, according to the data analysis, you know, Zerg just tend to lose most of the Zerg against Protoss. But when you play at the highest level in all of StarCraft, Terran becomes just as strong, if not stronger than Protoss. It is really amazing how good these people are at Terran on fastest map, and how they can manage to push Terran to a level that people overall consider to be impossible to achieve, because people are under the assumption that Protoss is numero uno on fastest map, and many people will tell you that Protoss is numero uno, but there is a level of Terran on fastest map reserved for like 5 people, maybe 6, but definitely not 7, where they can put Terran at such a high level of play that it is no longer an expectation for Protoss to win, but it becomes an actual battle of equals, where it is 50-50 on who of the two is going to win. And Gensay is one of the few 6 players, maybe it's 5, it could be 6, who can achieve that level of play with Terran. And of course, the others being, you know, Burger, Sasu, Terran against Protoss. His Terran against Protoss is really, really good. Not as good as it used to be, because he developed carpal tunnel at some point, and that does hurt his performance here and there, because when you've got pain in your wrist and you cannot perform optimally, you of course will also play a little bit worse. So that's not really something he can do much about anymore. But his Terran against Protoss is still very, very good, just less explosive. Secondly, there's Mong. Mong was for a while, in my opinion, perhaps the best Terran on fastest map. Then there's Brain, who is of course the smartest. But now we already have 3 people on that list who I would consider to be Terrans that are capable of playing better than the best Protoss. Well, 4, make it 4. You know, Burger Sasu, Brain, Gensay, Mong. Then there's Biol as well, a former professional player who has managed and bothered to learn a lot of fastest. He's played a lot of fastest over the past 3 years. He went from basically a semi to pro level player on the normal maps to being one of the best Terrans ever on fastest map. That aside though, I've named 5 people now already. There could be a 6th one, but I'm not sure who I would place on number 6. Like Flash has played fastest as well. He was really good. I guess you could say Flash is number 6. Okay, so here he comes in with that same strategy from last game, but he's doing a double Nexus this time around. But Gensay this time didn't go for the double barracks because he did feel like he got punished a little bit too much for the double barracks. Now going for a triple barracks and already has a preemptive bunker ready to deal with the Zealots and receive minimal amount of damage. Because last time he took more damage and he was actually exposed to the strengths of a double Nexus build order, but Forvate kind of sabotaged himself by going for a triple Nexus. That played right into Minchel's hands. Now he's going for a double Nexus. He's going for a faster Robo, and I do expect a Citadel of Adoon in the back very soon, and a Robo number 2 in the front, going for a third gas already. Very fast third gas. Not quite sure what he's planning on doing with that. There's Marines coming across the map. He's going to do a little bit of field checking on whether he can break through that choke or not. Zealots are of course also ready to, you know, aid in keeping those cannons alive. There's no medics there yet. He is getting double factory first, and engineering bay as well. So this game, Minchel or Gensay, I should just say Gensay because his name in the game here is Gensay, not Minchel. And he likes to call himself Gensay a lot more. Wait, that's not an engineering bay, it's a factory as well. He stopped marine production for a while. Getting an armory there as well. Oh, it's an academy. Minjal is doing things I haven't really seen before with Terran. It's a very unique build order right now. Very unique build order right now. So 6 Zealots there coming across the map, ready to pick a fight with some Marines, but the Marines are reinforced with more Marines, so they do push back those Zealots, and they go back right where they came from. And that is factory number 4, already coming out from Minjal. He's got 2 gas, so I do expect a lot of Vultures coming out. 1 tank and siege mode also on the way. I think Minjal is trying to fish. He's fishing for an opportunity to go for an early push. I'm not sure if he gave away his intention already. Engineering Bay on the way. Academy almost finished up. No scans there yet because you need Academy for scans. Vulture there is spotted. So maybe his plan to go for an early aggression strategy has been revealed. That's a very Minjal thing to do, is to go for very fast early aggression. It's very difficult to do. This strategy from Minjal is very, very difficult to do. He's already coming... Is he gonna go? Yeah, he's gonna go. He's feeling funky. Reavers are on the way. Will the choke die before the Reavers spawn? Because when the Reaver shuttle spawns with some Zealot support or Dark Templar support below the shuttle Reaver, then defending this shouldn't be too hard. But if he can break through before the Reavers have made any scarabs or are picked up by the shuttle, then there's a chance that Minjal or Gensay can break this pretty easily. Scan is just finished up there for Gensay. Building a turret there in the front. Scans the Dark Templars pretty much immediately. Tried to pick them up, but they both go down. One got picked up, actually, so only one went down. Storm is on the way there for a 458. Cannons in the front have been taken down. Double Reaver are inside the shuttle. He just needs something to take the first tank shot so he can unload the Reavers, or he's going to fly around the map. So Gensay, they're checking the back for how many cannons there are and to check what technology there is, how many gateways there are with the Vultures. He's laying low at the moment, waiting for the slow push. He has to stay within turret range. We can't go in too far because our Templars are on the scene. As your Reaver shuttle drop is going across the map. No scan at the moment. He's losing a lot more Marines than he should. Dark Templars doing a great job there, killing some. Mines being placed to kill some Dark Templars, and they... Wow. Wow. That Dark Templar, like, I don't know if that was intentionally controlled like that, but that Dark Templar killed a lot of mines and 2 Vultures all by itself. Reavers arrive on the scene, SCVs are running away, the SCVs do explode, kills half of them. And 1 tank got sieged up, but it is too close to the Reaver, so it doesn't even shoot. That's a big hit. That might take all the wind out of his sails, and he lost his entire army inside of 458's base as well. All the tanks, all the Marines are dead and gone because he was at home defending against the Reaver drop, and 458 saw that opportunity as a chance to kill the entire army. But reinforcements arrive, turret's still alive. Dark Templar splitting up to both sides, gonna try to snipe that turret while the units are split up but can't quite get on top. Really good juggling back and forth here. 458 is struggling to spend his money because he's got so many probes coming in and he has to micro a lot to deal with Minjal's army progressing into his base. Mines in the front. Dark Templar explode. Dark Templar survives. There it goes, it's dead. And when the Dark Templars are dead, the remaining bit of his army pushes through into the base. Great storm there though, goodbye Marines. I think 458's got this. I think Gensay played that a little bit too aggressively. The double Nexus instead of triple Nexus really allows 458 to play way better defense and have a lot more units on the map, to not have to wait until 10 minutes to have a huge economy. And even now, he is having a lot of minerals that he can't spend. There's just so much defending happening. When you have to control this much, this often, all the time, it's difficult to spend and build at the same time. He's having real difficulty spending his money. But he's still alive, and I think he came out on top. 41 SCVs now for Gensay, 59 probes for 458. He hasn't built probes for a while. He's a little bit behind on the target, but doesn't matter. He's still alive. And he killed a lot of units. He's defending himself quite well. Gensay, though, not giving up on the push. Placing mines very aggressively there in the choke point, slowly pushing forward, building bunkers and turrets now as well. We need more high Templars here from 458. Mines exploding on a lot of Zealots. But 4-8, they're pushing that army back out of his base. But the tanks and vultures in the back are doing so much work from a very safe position behind the turrets, behind the mines. There's nothing that can really kill those units that are in the back. And 4-5-8 now is just throwing down structures randomly, because at this point he just needs more gateways. He just needs more structures, but it's so damn difficult to produce while your opponent is playing this well. That drop he got hit by, Gensay, oh, he cares, of course he cares. He's more broke than he should be. But despite that, he's still pushing on very strong. This makes Terran look unbalanced. It's so strong, but it takes so much skill, experience, and knowledge to even do this. Like, this is amazingly good Protoss and Terran against Protoss, but 4-8 is hanging in there. He's hanging in there. But Gensay there is setting up more turrets. 4-8 sends out yet another drop. He figured out that, you know what, if I cannot outproduce you, maybe I should just once again kill your workers and then outproduce you. And Minchel is cutting corners on his main defense. He's got some Marines there, but the Marines won't do much. He's got 6 factories running non-stop, rallied to the enemy base. Like, everything is just going straight to 4-8's base. He's got 3 Marines, and the drop there comes in. It's a Zealot on the scene. Templar arrives as well. Templar gonna storm on the SCVs. He didn't pull his SCVs in time because he maybe wasn't expecting them. Got 32 SCVs still alive, managed to save most of them, but did still lose about half of them. Like, not exactly half, just below half. Things are not looking pretty. Things are not looking pretty for both players. 1. How is 4-8 going to dislodge this push? 2. Will Gensay have enough to keep this push alive? Supply difference of about 40. Gateways being thrown everywhere. The robots are dead and gone. 4-8 managed to use the last shuttle that spawned to get a pretty good drop on Gensay. Gensay is producing SCVs. He's on 7 factories, 3 barracks. He's not really sending any more Marines across the map. And there he goes for the attack, getting right in between all those tanks, all the vultures, unsieges his tanks. Unsieging the tanks really is crucial to keeping that push alive, because if he starts killing his own tanks with his tanks, it's over. So unsieging there really saved most of his tanks, and he sieges them right back up. Turrets and bunkers everywhere, Marines coming from back home across the map. He's largely producing vultures. He still has some gas in the bank to make some tanks as well. Turrets in the front to help him push against the Dark Templars. I think Gensay is going to do it again. Gensay does not need massive amounts of money in the bank to be an absolute monster of a Terran player. This push is... oh, he's within range. He's not within range. I thought he was within range with the tank, but he... slight little miscalculation. Zealots are coming in. Tanks unsieged. Once again, very smart move. Zealots are getting through in there. They're getting on top, and 4-8 yet again calls GG. Gensay with an amazing Terran performance. As I said in game number 1, or at the start of this game actually, I said at the start of this game, at the highest level of StarCraft fastest map 1v1, Protoss is no longer overpowered. It's no longer overpowered. These players at this level, their Terrans are absolutely disgusting in how good they are. Absolutely disgusting. Let me just give him win number 2 while we load up the game. So win number 2. And switch back. And at win number 2 here as well. Gensay, 2 wins, no losses. 4-5-8 has got his job cut out for him because he's going to have to make a comeback. And can he make the comeback? Top right of the map. Top left of the map. Minchel against Gensay. Gensay is Minchel actually, so Gensay against 4-5-8. Gensay is Minchel. I keep using both names randomly because I don't know why. Like, whenever I want to talk about Gensay, I say Minchel, and sometimes I say Gensay. But he's the same person. So what is Gensay going to do this time? Is he going to go for the exact same fast factory build order that so far 4-8 doesn't seem to have an answer for? Because it just looks really difficult. It just looks really difficult. It just looks almost impossible, even though he is hitting Gensay's economy really hard. In every single game, Gensay's factory skills, with the vultures, the tanks, his control, his oversight, his planning, his aggression, everything is coming together in such a manner that 458 cannot formulate a proper response. How is 458 going to deal with this? Because right now, I don't even know the answer myself. How do you deal with that factory strategy from Gensay? How do you deal with it? I think the build order itself was made and created by Biol, I'm not too sure, but I've seen Biol do similar things as well. Maybe it was Duram. I've seen Duram and Biol both do a two barracks into factory or triple barracks into fast factory build orders, where they just want to end the game really quick with the power of vultures and tanks. Because there is a window of time within which the Protoss is making shuttle drops that the Protoss does not have a lot to defend, because a lot of their money is going into the shuttles, the robotics, and the drops. So their supply doesn't go very high for the first 9 minutes or so, maybe 10 minutes. So if you as a Terran can prevent any serious amounts of damage happening before 9 minutes, you have a chance to counterattack, much like what Gensay has been doing so far. He's just going balls to the wall, all in aggression. Defensive bunker. He's learned his lesson from game number 1, because in game number 1 he almost lost the game to not having a bunker. He really relied on just microing his Marines, but this time around in the last 2 games, bunkers right next to the barracks, and it has allowed him to minimize the damage taken and maximize his offensive potential right after. That's always what we want to do. Maximize our offensive potential to win games quick. Not easily, but quickly for sure. Factory very interestingly placed. All the way in the back within the range of the bunker. Also protecting the SCVs. He's making a pretty good area to defend himself in. Like he's gonna maybe even add the control tower here, the machine shop, and then there's like only this tight narrow space for Zealots to walk through. It's a pretty smart way of setting things up, but he's gonna have to relocate that factory at some point. I think he's gonna lift it up once it finishes up and place it right here. I think that's what he's gonna do. He's got Stim already on the way, medics as well. Got 2 cannons in the front there for 458, getting triple gateway there back at home, getting Dragoon range as well. He's going to delay his robos. Because as we saw in the previous game, going for faster robos didn't really change much of the outcome. So now we can see 458 brainstorming, adapting and adjusting his build orders to try and deal with what 458 has been doing. Robo now in the back. The Dragoons are largely there to help him protect the choke, I believe. I'm not sure, but that's what I believe. Marines and medics are coming across the map. He's going to try his luck and try to break through those cannons with the few Marines he already has. 458 knows this is already a factory build order because he spotted the factories earlier on with the 1 Zealot that came in. Scan is finished up. He's getting machine shop number 1, getting siege mode. So no vultures, no mines, even though 458 looks to be expecting mines. Because I do think he's going to add on an observatory soon. Getting a Citadel of Adun. Robo number 2 as well. Singularity charge almost finished up. Getting another wave of Dragoons to join in. I think 458 is fishing for a counterattack. I think that's the solution he has come up with. A counterattack to Gensay pushing for the win. He's aiming for the counterattack. Oh, this game looks a little bit familiar. This game specifically looks a little bit familiar. It reminds me of a game Biol played against Gensay. Same situation, but Gensay here now facing Dragoons against Marine and Tank. The Dragoons have done a great job of pushing Gensay back. It's gonna buy him some time, I'm sure of it. How much time? I do not know. Double Reaver on the way in the back. Observatory finished up, but not yet getting observers because he didn't see any vultures yet. But vultures and mines are both on the way, and so is vulture speed. 5 factories already, well, 3 producing, 2 more on the way. No armory in the back yet. Wait. There's an armory somewhere. On the bottom of the map. There's armory. So he has a drop dodge spot as well. He can send his workers here to avoid the storms. The level 1 attack is on the way there for the tanks. Oh, sorry again, hit my mic. Like I put my mic on a box and a towel on top of the box so that the mic is on about mouth level. But the box is like next to my mouth, so sometimes I bump into it. So the mines have arrived, they're right there in the front. Observers are on the way. Goons are lying in wait. More zealots on the way, getting zealot speed as well. No level 1 attack is being researched. Terran boosters on the way there for the Terran. Turrets being built for Dark Templars. And of course for the Observer, that he needs to see the mines. Gensay is progressing quickly now. Their worker counts are about the same. Gensay has a 1 worker lead. Command number 3 on the way. Getting a starport as well and a science facility. 5 factory, number 6 almost finished up. Observer moving into this position right here. They can see all the reinforcements coming, and the other observer is right here on top of the mines. But he can see the marines, not sure if they can see the tanks, but he's assuming that he's not yet capable of breaking through. But little does he know, if he goes right now, he can break through and kill most of Gensay's army before Gensay becomes too scary, too strong to deal with. A lot of his Goliaths are still here back at home. But that's the thing about StarCraft, and when you're observing or casting, you can see everything. As a player, you're somewhat guessing what's happening. Zealots running to their deaths, triggering the mines. Dark Templar in the mix as well, also ready to trigger some mines. Drops are coming in at the same time. Goliaths are in between. Goliaths are sniping the shuttles. He's not focusing on the shuttles. It's a loading Reaver on the scene. 2 Reavers on the scene. And he hits about 12. The Reavers are still there alive in the back. The Goliaths are having some trouble getting in the back. Both Reavers still alive. Gonna take a couple more shots to take them down, killing as much as they can. There's a couple more SFE kills, but the large group that just returned stays alive. So 46 SFEs alive. He's got 7, 8 factors at the moment. Getting level 2 attack for the tanks. He's pulling back. He's retreating back home. He is retreating back home. So it looks like 458 did in fact find and brainstormed the correct counter strategy. He figured it out. He knows what to do. It's really amazing to watch players evolve from game to game, adjusting and adapting to their mistakes, picking up on small details here and there that they can maybe exploit. It's really fun to watch best of sets instead of single games, because in best of sets you can see players brainstorming, adjusting and adapting. So clearing out the vision on the sides. Minchel is not building a wall, using 2 bunkers and a turret as his choke. So it's a soft choke, it's easy to break through, but with so many tanks behind it and Goliaths, breaking through itself is going to be very difficult. If you built a wall in the front there, it would practically be impossible. Science facility on the way, science vessel on the way. Still only on 2 armories, getting armor now as well. All the upgrades are on the way for 458, getting air armor, ground weapon attack. He's kind of the person to get shields first before armor for ground, because shields apply to carriers and ground units. But armor upgrade for ground units is stronger than shield, but shield is multi-functional. So drops are leaving. I think Gensay saw the shuttles leave. Goliaths are posturing and setting up for defense. One shuttle there comes up, there's a tank on the high ground, shuttle goes down, went too far, and he turns back around. Some more games on the way, got 2 Stargates there as well. He's going for a heavy and strong gateway style of play. Almost maxed out, both players are. Gensay, though, feels like he can go for the push, but he's running right into the Gateway Army that's going for the counter-attack. So both players meeting each other by chance, but the tanks were not yet sieged up. They're sieging up right now there, though, but now unloading on top of the tanks. Storming on the Goliath, storming on the tanks, really great storms. Units are coming from the back to the front. 4-8 now has a massive supply lead. That was the perfect timing for 4-8 to go for the attack. But so many Goliaths in the back, I do not think the Goliath and Dragoon mixed together, a Galoon. I think the Dragoons are not in big enough a number, and because they don't have upgrades, they're weaker than the Goliaths. The Goliaths with their upgrades, just slightly stronger, and soon much stronger, with level 2 attack finishing up within a matter of seconds. But the attack was pretty good. He's got a huge supply lead, so all he's got to do is keep on sending units, keep on attacking, and keep up the pressure. The one thing 4-5-8 is very good at is once he starts attacking, once he finds a way to keep on attacking and use that as an advantage, he never stops. Drops coming in, Goliaths in between, ready to snipe the shuttles out of the air, EMP on the shuttles as well. And none of the shuttles arrive on destination, but now big attack coming from his base, about 12 Zealots going to join up with 5 Dragoons. Another shuttle drop ready to go. Dragoons on the sides tripping out against a tank. He goes into the front. Tanks and Goliaths combined, pretty damn strong. Pretty damn strong. The drop is... Oh, he dropped Dragoons on the high ground. Time to take out the turrets, or at least attempt to, because tank is sieging up right next to the hill. So the Dragoons will soon die. He might take down some turrets and open up a hole. But then we still have Goliaths behind the turret line to still snipe the shuttles out of the air. Only has 6 gas at the moment for Gensay. Doing a pretty good job defending. The top corner got broken open. Another frontal attack gonna happen very soon. Got a couple shuttles there ready to pick up more units and send them across the map. 4-5-8 is doing his best in trying to keep it the pressure, but Gensay, we're already 13 minutes in. Pressure, like putting pressure on Gensay at this point, is getting progressively more difficult with all the turrets, all the tanks and Goliaths, and all the upgrades. He's got 13 factors at the moment. Rockets drop over the bottom side. Goliaths are moving to try and intercept. Can he prevent the storm? No, he cannot, and that's a huge storm. That's the money shot of the century. Every single SCV on the minerals dead and gone. Went from 84 SCVs down to 20. So that really was the sweetest drop of all time for 4-5-8. Exactly what he needed. But Gensay is not the type of person to give up right here. He's going to go all in. He's going to go for the push. He's got the 2-1 upgrades on his tanks against 1-1 upgrades there from 4-5-8. Unloads right on top of all the tanks and gets a flank from behind as well. Zealots are overpowering, just running forward. Gensay's army is getting wiped from the map. Wiped from existence. Goliaths from the back there, though, going to try and reinforce and try to change the tide of the battle. Tanks sieging up. Goliaths spread out. Gateway army does fall, but 4-5-8 did exactly what he wanted to do, and that is eat up a large chunk of Gensay's remaining supply that he now has trouble replenishing with his very small, tiny little income. Once again, coming in. He's expecting to drop. He's got 3 Goliaths to snipe 7 shuttles. That's not going to happen. The loads right on top of the tanks and the Goliaths. Beautifully done. Going to try to kill as many as he can. Shuttles arrive in the back, but I don't think there's any more Templars inside. The rest of the army is going into the middle, where he just lost more of his tanks, so he's pulling most of his stuff back. And he got stormed. There was, in fact, a Templar inside the shuttle. I was wrong. He had a Templar in it. So now he's on 18 SCVs. Things are not looking pretty. Things are looking, I'd argue, pretty much impossible. 4-5-8 found the counter strategy to Gensay's relentless and something, I can't find the word, but his very bold Terran strategies. His very bold and aggressive Terran strategies have been unraveled, and 4-5-8's got the answer. He's got the answer. Templars unloading, gonna storm on the tanks. Tanks cannot dodge the storms, they do go down. Beautifully done. But he will stay alive for a little bit longer. But look at this big gateway army coming across the map, gonna join up with the rest. Actually, let's kill those Goliaths first. They have nowhere to run to. The Goliaths have been forgotten on his 12 o'clock spawn location, and they're here trapped, fighting for their lives with nowhere to run to, forsaking Gensay for forgetting about them. Like, damn you, Gensay, why did you forget about us? Why did you leave us here to die? Goodbye, Goliath. Supply is now on 194. Disaster has struck. Gensay is in trouble. The two armies from the top and from the left and the right are joining up to form one overpowering force that's going to try to run it down the middle right into Gensay's base and put an end to his existence. He's breaking through. Factories on the side exposed. Tanks sieging up on the other side of the factory ball. And Gensay calls GG. There's too much to overcome. The force of gateways. Drop happening at the same time as well, of course. Yeah, too many Dragoons, too many Zealots, and too many drops at the same time. SCVs getting stormed to death yet again. 4 of 8 figured out how to defeat the Terran factory strategy that Gensay used to great success 2 times in a row before 4 of 8 figured out how to deal with it. Really great stuff from both players. I was impressed, and that's the end. It was a best of set, but we have 3 games, and both players got their respective wins. It looks like Gensay wins the entire best of 3 because they didn't play game number 4 or 5, so maybe they just played some games for fun. But yeah, 1 win for 458, 2 wins for Gensay. Maybe they ran out of time, I don't know. But Gensay is our winner, and 4 of 8 got his own 1 single win as revenge to make things right.